To me, it seems most likely it's Wings or Secret for third place, and that match could decide it.
Yes.
Assuming Secret beat Complexity, which, I don't know, I just feel is likely to happen.
Yeah. How do you feel like Complexity is in terms of able to reset themselves after a loss?
I haven't seen enough of their games, so I feel like in general they're not a team who gets too emotional or tilted by their losses. Just having talking to Swindle Melons, I think they're a very like psychologically strong team. I just think they aren't a strong team in other areas. Perhaps right now, I think skill-wise and just team coordination-wise, they're not matching up well right now. They need more time to kind of build as a team. They're still a very new team. The European players only recently moved out to America to join them, so I think they still have a lot of room to grow. There's potential there as far as individual players go, but right now I don't think the team is that strong.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's just the state, kind of frankly.
I mean, I felt strongly about Complexity coming into this, but I obviously from the results, they haven't done terribly well. I think they have more upside than just about any other American team that's not named DG, but they haven't gotten there yet. They need some more time. Need to go back to the lab.
The other side of the coin is also that there's a chance for a three-way tie then in regards to Team Secret, because obviously Virtus.Pro lost against Team Secret. Vega won against Team Secret. And
if
then
Liquid lose, Liquid
crazy.
may not actually make it top 3 if they lose and then lose tiebreakers, I want to say.
There is a small chance, I believe, yes. Yeah. Because then Virtus.Pro would be top in the group and they would have lost against Virtus.Pro.
Okay.
Well, Secret would have won against Virtus.Pro.
All right.
I mean, there's still a lot that can happen.
We've got stats, man. They'll figure it out during the break.
Yeah, they can.
I'm not so good at
hopefully.
tiebreaker stuff sometimes.
Yeah. We'll talk to Andre. I already need to talk to Andre and tell him how bad his
man.
tiebreaker rules are. Like, where are you, Andre? Let's have a word.
We can do that for the next season, perhaps, because it's too late now. Too late. And actually, for Group 8, ended up not making a difference because Alliance still did beat EG. So who knows? Maybe there's no tiebreakers at all. Though I do want to point out that this tiebreaker scenario, possibility, with all the rules that are in place, like first tier rule, second tier rule, and if this happens, this would be the rule. I mean, it's all trying to lower down amount of games in terms of tiebreakers, because these are very long days for the teams.
Yes, tiebreakers can easily get a little crazy in terms of length of days, and tiebreaker games are usually, they happen at the end of group stages, so it can be super late, and that's when teams aren't playing the worst. And the worst thing in the world is to lose a tiebreaker game at 1 a.m. When you're exhausted, you've played 6 games that day, you don't really want to play more, and you have to anyway. So it's a blessing and a curse.
I think the worst thing's getting eliminated because of some wonky tiebreaker
That's
rules.
also true. That's what I'm saying. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, like I'd rather at least get the chance to play tired and have another shot than get like knocked out because you had you won the head-to-heads even, but this team beat LGD even though LGD didn't even need to win the match. Like I don't know.
That's tough.
It didn't actually. Group A didn't actually matter. I like that Group A ended itself pretty cleanly. So.
Okay. It's great. Sorry, I was slightly flaming you there. I don't know. I don't think you heard it. I'm not even sure if the stream heard how sensitive these microphones are. It's fine. We're gonna be having Liquid versus Virtus.Pro, and Liquid, of course, just coming off a loss, so we will have a short break for them to recuperate and basically get themselves together. Because I just asked you about Complexity, about their mentality state. Is Liquid a team that would tilt? Because this is their first loss.
I don't think so. I think they tried enough different that game that they can probably say, well, we didn't draft as well as we should have. We tried to do something different. We kind of caught ourselves off guard. I don't think that's a loss that really hurts you that bad, or morale-wise, because you still hold your fate in your hands. If they beat Virtus.Pro, they're still first place in the group. So I feel like they're not too down about that loss. They could afford to have that game slip out of their fingers.
It's still like that Liquid VP game suddenly gets that much more important for them now that they lost that one. So
and we like it that way.
Yeah.
As a viewer, you should like it that way too, because it just means that there's all the more pressure on this game for both teams to do well. Yeah. Obviously, Virtus.Pro also. They have got one loss already against Team Secret, and this is their chance to make it to the top of the group. And as we already stated, it's very important to get number 1 in the group, because that means that you're going to see it directly into the semifinals, get to skip the quarterfinals. So something to look out for here.
And so the way this works now is that since EG got 3rd in their group, they will face off against 2nd place in this group.
Yes.
So for some teams, they might not even want to get 2nd place. They might feel more comfortable playing Alliance than Evil Geniuses.
No, that means you want to. Oh yeah. So you'd rather be third than second.
You'd rather be third than second if you feel more comfortable playing Alliance than EG.
I guess for most teams, it's like you're not thinking about that unless you're in your last match and you're like guaranteed top 3. Right. until you're guaranteed top 3, I don't think you can think about it that way.
And with none of the teams,
you're not going to lose any games
yet.
on purpose right now.
Yeah, I think regardless. I mean, as mentioned earlier, we spoke to Matuma Man. It's like you guys overanalyze this, so that's what we do. You know, it's okay.
The team's just like we're just going to win. Like
we're
game by
we're
game,
just gonna
approach
play
it
the
to
game.
win. Yeah.
I think that gets read into a lot. Like people aren't really trying to min-max positions that much. They just want to win first and foremost.
Well, we kind of find out if Liquid or VP is going to win. I want to hear from you guys what you think. What's your expectation? These two teams are ranked very evenly, generally, on various sites. So I want to know what you think.
I mean, I felt like Virtus.Pro might win the tournament. They were my pick to be in the finals against EG, so I'm going to stick with that. And I think that Virtus.Pro pulls this game out. I've been very impressed by their play so far. I think Liquid's also a very strong team. I think it's going to be a very fair and close match, but I think VP pulls it out in the end.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's going to be close.
Before the tournament started, I probably would have leaned more towards VP, but after seeing how Liquid played day one, they were the most impressive team. I don't take too much out of the loss against Wings. I don't think that, to me, that doesn't take away from how well Liquid have played the past days. I think they tried something a little different and just got caught by surprise more than anything. And VP's not a team who will catch them by surprise, I don't think.
Probably not.
The BO1 nature just made it a very volatile matchup against Wings. Whereas against VP Liquid, I think we'll see a more standard game, standard drafts from the two teams, and I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Liquid. But really, this is
I mean, your indecisiveness already proves that it's up in the air. Right?
I think one of the keys to drafting well against Liquid is being able to play Earth Spirit, which Lil plays a fantastic Earth Spirit. We saw in the last game that Liquid didn't have first pick, so they felt like they had to ban out the Earth Spirit themselves, which really hurts. It hurts having to ban out a hero that you really value. So going against Virtus.Pro, if they end up getting first pick, I feel like Liquid's going to have to ban out the Earth Spirit again because Lil showed earlier today that he's exceptional at that hero, or last night actually, that he was exceptional at the hero.
Yeah, at the same time as our game is going on, before we continue talking about that as we wait for that game to start, Complexity vs. Secret is on the secondary stream, or will be on, depending on how long the break for Complexity will be, as they are the team that plays 2 games in a row on that stream. Now, we talked about it before, and Secret hasn't been in the greatest of shapes. This will be the first game of the day. They had a long time since yesterday to talk amongst the team, like how are we going to fix the scenario, how we're going to deal with the scenario, how we're going to deal with this. Do you think that the team will be better than yesterday? Let's put it that one first.
Yeah?
It
should be. I mean, for Secret, I think this is... on paper, it should be their most straightforward matchup. It's a team who isn't going to do anything crazy or unpredictable like Wings. It's a team who they match up well against as far as the lanes go and the player matchups. I don't feel like they're going to get outclassed by them. So I think if the one way they lose is if Complexity have some kind of a cheese strat or a pocket draft that they've got prepared. So
I actually think they might.
Level 1 Roche? Complexity's had more level 1 Roches than anyone.
Speaking with Complexity, they've got. I think they got a couple of things under their belt. I think their back is up against the wall now too.
Yeah,
they have to win. So
if
they're going to pull out something, now is the time to do it. So I think that in terms of general matchups, it's their most straightforward match and the one that they probably understand the most. But it's also when Complexity has the most freedom to try something crazy. Because if they don't and they lose, they have no shot.
Yeah, and Gods, I believe you actually casted a match, so the game hasn't started yet, guys. Don't worry. Which hero would you like to see from those teams? Is there anything in particular that you want Secret or Complexity to draft?
I want to see Eternal Envy Terrorblade.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that yesterday, too.
I want to see an Envy Terrorblade. On the side of Complexity, I love seeing them play Invoker. That's always a sight to see. So I want to see a level 1 Roche, though, from Complexity.
Actually,
that's what I want to see.
Chessie plays Invoker for Complexity as well.
Yeah.
Does Limp play too, I believe? Yes.
I think Chessie's their main one, but I assume Limp can also play it. But Chessie's their main Invoker player.
Yeah, it does make the dynamic a little bit different if they go for Chessie on the Invoker.
He always goes for the combo Invoker too, instead of this Necro split push Invoker. So it's always fun to watch.
Yeah, we saw them be victorious actually with that yesterday on stream against Wings. I want to say against Wings actually.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yes, it's so interesting to see the teams doing so different against certain teams that you'd expect them to win against. There's been a lot of upsets.
I think it just shows that there's a fair amount of parity amongst all these teams, that everyone can kind of beat each other. It's I feel like we're in a position in Dota where the top teams are a lot less better than the tier 2 teams than it has been in the past. There's not as much of a discrepancy, I think, between the best teams in the world.
There's
than
more
the
top
second
tier
best
teams.
That's also the case. So I think it's good. It's also good to see.
It's a good way of looking at it.
It's also really good to see these like B-tier Chinese teams that usually don't get a whole lot of exposure show up and play well.
Well, because I think that was one of maybe the disappointments for some viewers coming in. It's like, oh, Wings is playing. Where's Vici Gaming? Or where's eHome? Why aren't these Chinese teams coming? Some of them chose not to play. IG and I think CDC didn't actually qualify. They lost early on. I think IG had roster problems and actually pulled out.
Yeah. And IG wasn't playing too well in the qualifiers.
Yeah, so you have Wings come and people are like, who's this Wings team? I saw them at WCA. They beat Secret, so people are like, oh, maybe they're not too bad. And they come here and they've just caused some big upsets. They took down Liquid, who were undefeated. So Wings showing, it's again just this big story that right now is coming out of China, that it's like the youth teams who are doing well. The joke is being that like the CDEC youth team, the newbie youth team, these are like actually the main squads for some of these teams. These young players
beating the masters.
Yeah, they're so driven. They have so much motivation, and they've been given that inspiration story from CDEC because of TI that. Just because you're a no-name player on a no-name team doesn't mean you can't make it to these big events.
And China as a scene really needed it. They started getting a little complacent. I mean, we always make the jokes about how, Newbie was very complacent after their win at TI4. And I think China kind of got into a bit of a lull. So they needed this kick to, really start going. Their in-house scene got really popular and good. And they've kind of created their own new, exciting play style out of it. And it's really exciting to see.
I actually... I believe it was at the summit that I heard some people say like China, that China will show up at TI7 again.
TI7?
Yes.
They might have a good TI6.
Yeah.
I think that's. I think TI7 they could be really freaking scary, but TI6 they should be like solid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, LGD is showing that they're definitely solid. Yeah. I think so, but yeah, I should say there are some teams maybe missing, but it's really fun to see Wings play, and they have still the chance to make it to the playoffs. It's very tricky with this scenario that we don't know what's happening, guys. It's all up in the air. But yeah, Liquid versus Virtus.Pro. Let's talk about that matchup because those two teams we already mentioned. It's going to be a very even matchup. What do the teams need to look out for? Which heroes, or rather, which players do they need to target in terms of trying to shut anything down, or do they just not need to shut anything down and just focus on their own?
Shut down Death Prophets. If anyone's playing Death Prophet, which both Fata and G both play a lot, shut the hero down. Like do not let Death Prophet go off to a good start. So if either team gets a hero, if you're like a Chen or something, just spam gank the hero. Like you cannot let these Death Prophets just go mid and free farm away. That to me, it's less about like shutting down the player and more certain heroes, and that's one hero which has just gone away with too much.
But she does have a very low win rate. Statsman, riddle is that?
It's one of those things, right, where win rate isn't necessarily correlated to how good or bad the hero is. It's
Liquid
how
has 100% win rate though.
Yeah, it's more of how teams are playing her, how teams are reacting with her, which teams are winning with her, which teams are losing with her.
And the games where she's losing, it's still like she looks like incredibly powerful. And
was the Virtus.Pro game where they lost with the G? Yeah, that was the game where G was like a one-man armory.
There were a few losses where the hero lost, and I was like, probably should have won. And there were a few games where the hero lost maybe, and they should have lost, but it wasn't because of the Death Prophet. Death Prophet like still owned regardless. So
and it's 15 games. I mean, if we get like further into this patch and we're like 150, 200 Death Prophet games in, and her win rate's still not solid, then maybe there's something we're missing about her. But
I think the key thing is the hero's been losing, and it's because the teams are realizing you have to shut the hero down. Like you can't ignore it. So initially it was winning a lot.
Teams have been kind of going all into the Death Prophet too. They've been picking Death Prophet without a whole lot of backup damage.
Yeah, Navi did like one Death Prophet game at the start of today where it was like Death Prophet with like 3 healing supports and stuff, and it didn't do too well.
Yeah, they went. Then there's that one game they went Omni Knight, Oracle, and Tusk.
Yeah,
it was like they had no backup damage to follow up the Death Prophet. It was very strange.
Okay, so we're gonna hopefully see Death Prophet probably banned.
I don't want to see banned.
Both teams,
good plan.
Both teams want to play it. Both teams are very scary when playing it. I mean, let's just remove it altogether because it also, it's kind of predictable. We're gonna see new stuff here, guys. We're gonna see some people do some crazy stuff. Is there any crazy stuff that we can expect? Because both teams, if you bring your A game, is this the time for a pocket strat? Is this the time to say like, this is the game I want to win? This is the game I want to pull out something.
Lil Visage, I want to see it.
Okay, we have seen it banned a few times.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that if Lil Star hasn't had his hero picked yet, and you have a ban available, it's like, we don't really want to deal with it. But Visage wasn't really touched that hard by the patch. I mean, he had a small buff to the AoE of the Remnant stun, I think.
Yeah, very small. But
yeah, it's like, but I still think the hero can be strong in the right lineups.
What's the right lineup? Because it's not going to be a Drow.
Yeah, it's when you need a lot of damage. When you have a lineup where when you can afford to have your 4 position farm really well. And it's just backup damage. If you have like more space creating mids, if G is on something more like a Queen of Pain, and your carry is good, but you still want a little extra oomph in the late game, then Visage is a really good pick there.
Okay, what do you want to see apart from Death Prophet? Because nobody wants to see Death Prophet. Because we've seen Jarex play Earth Spirit. We've seen him play Tusk. We've seen him play Witch Doctor just now. Didn't really go all too well. Yep. Is there anything different you want to see from him? Because he used to play in a really good Lina.
Yeah, I think Jarex is just going to do his thing. I'm less thinking about him. I think Matumba Man, like an Ursa or something, could come out.
Yes.
I think the more diverse hero pool, the exciting picks can come out of the carry players, and more Matumba Man than Silent. Silent kind of known for more of the stable play, but I think like an Ursa type pick is kind of something a bit funky they can do. There's other heroes that he will just pull out of nowhere and just make work. So that's one of those heroes which I think can just, well, maybe not let so much the Ursa, but one of the players who can bring something new to the table as far as the drafts go.
How do we feel like these two teams play style match up against each other? Liquid, generally, and not always, known for playing their own game and just not getting too much distracted in terms of reactive gaming. Virtus.Pro, known for being super aggressive and forcing other people out of their comfort zone, forcing them to play their own game style. How does this clash? What does it mean?
I think G is probably one of the better players at dealing with Fada's really like heavy pressure mid play style. He's kind of been around for a while. He can kind of, if they pick something like a Razor, he can play just about anything that they want to play to deal with it. And I think that really works to Virtus.Pro's advantage.
Yeah, I'd like to see G on something like a Lina, something kind of explosive. A Lina, Queen of Pain, if possible. And if the Death Prophet's there, they may just feel like pressured into taking it. But I think they want something that has like that just nice bit of firepower that he can bring to the table and be a bit of a playmaker on for this game.
Firepower. Pun. Why haven't we seen Lina mid that often?
I think it's been picked a couple of times. I've seen a few games of it, but I think Lina can be played in the right drafts. I think if it's something where you're maybe not going to be going up against like a lot of BKB carries, or even the Accept, you can deal with them later on. But the Lina with the Aether Lens is still really strong. So
it's very good.
I don't think there's any reason why Lina's suddenly weak. I think it's just been somewhat forgotten about because it's also a great answer to Death Prophet.
The mid pool is also just very wide right now.
Yes.
Lina was really good when she was just kind of like outclassing most other carries and our mid heroes in terms of damage, and she was dealing really well with the other like carry style mids. Yeah. And I mean, Lina's a great late game hero if you can manage to get the Ags up. So.
Yeah, we just got the word that the teams need a few more minutes before we can kick off here in this, I want to say, the blockbuster of the day, because that's really the game that most people were looking forward to. I want to hear from you guys. If you were to pick one player from either team, either Liquid or VP, for your fantasy draft for this specific game.
Fantasy drafts.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, I want G. G's my boy.
No hesitation, just G?
Yeah, look, that guy's going to rack up the kills, the stats. Absolutely, man.
Even if he loses the game, I guess that is a good point.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think?
I'll go with Lil, just because he almost always finds a way to farm. There's that one game where Silent was a Faceless Void, and they somehow convinced him into going Ags Vlad's Blink, and Lil was like, I'm the carry now, and ended up farming up an Ags really fast. Like, that's the kind of stuff Lil does. He probably gets the most value for like fantasy point style stuff out of the fourth position than just about any other.
Yeah, player. if you're going for fantasy point, you're going for high kills, high farm, and maybe preferably for unorthodox positions, just like support number 4 for Lil's Visage. And talking about fantasy draft, because if you want to get yourself a fantasy team, you can go to Vulcan and get yourself a fantasy team and see how you do against other people that have maybe better ideas than you, but maybe you can beat them. Go check that out. But yeah, we are soon ready. We know your guys' predictions. I want to hear Liquid VP. How fast is this game going to be? Is this going to be a game that's going to be decided on draft? Are we going to see super aggressive, decided in 20 minutes who the laning stage winner wins the game? Back and forth, 17-minute game?
It's really hard for me to kind of predict that until I see the drafts, because I think Liquid's two big play styles have been fast death ball push with the Death Prophet, and if they don't get it, then they go the more farm, slow pace kind of oriented play where Fata's on a mid hero that wants to farm the jungle and play that kind of efficiency style. So it's going to probably be told by the draft. I think for Liquid, against a team like VP, either approach can work. It's just going to come down to what VP let them get with those first couple of picks.
Yeah, VP's been largely the same as well. Their final two games of yesterday were
all
all
like we want to go home now.
Heavy push strats, like picking Venge really early and then just deathballing around the strat and just pushing really, really hard. So, like you said, it could be very, very dependent on how the draft ends up. And both teams are
Liquid's
valuable.
most comfortable in those, I think, slower paced games, but they've shown they can win games. Like they had a 21-minute win against Team Secret yesterday. So I think there's a good chance Liquid if they don't get Death Prophet, we'll just play that slower paced farm game. It'll be VP who are the tempo controllers, getting aggressive, using like Lil on. If he's not playing like a more farming oriented hero, if it's like a Spirit Break, he's going to be looking to get kills rolling. Have G trying to play that explosive playstyle as well. The one here I think Liquid really have to look out for this game is going to be the Broodmother, though. That's something which can always come up when you're versing VP. DK Phobos, I think, plays one of the best broods out there. Keep an eye out for that hero if you're Liquid. Definitely worth a 3rd or 4th ban.
Yeah, Virtus.Pro, they follow the advice done by many. They actually are the team with first pick, but they do not want to pick up Tusk nor Earth Spirit, and they decided to ban out Jerax.
Okay.
So removing him from the pool and leaving Liquid to decide what to do for
I
next.
think they could have just banned the Tusk and maybe picked up the Earth Spirit themselves, but maybe that's not the type of playstyle they're wanting to go for this game.
It could be. Then what does that say about their style this game?
Maybe they're trying to stick to that strategy that won them a couple of games yesterday, and they're going more heavy push.
I'm a fan of this just because I'm very much, I've said it a few times, I just don't think it's worth banning one of his heroes when he's got 2 scary heroes. Like, banning just the Earth Spirit when you give him Tusk to me is close to a wasted ban. But we talked about Death Prophet being hotly contested. We also talked about how we don't want to see it, but it gets through. VP, first pick it, and Liquid respond with IO Invoker. Man, this draft actually just speeding along. Okay, this is probably not going to be... this is going to be VP looking to end things fast and Liquid looking to hold on for the late game. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Is this the time where you ban out Chen for Liquid? As in, Liquid bans out Chen?
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to give them Chen with like and Death Prophet.
I think you want to ban the Venge out as well. Because Virtus.Pro will almost certainly be picking Venge, I think, in this next phase, if they don't ban it.
Team Liquid's turn
Definitely an option.
I mean, you might not be scared of the Venge, but Virtus.Pro probably want it. So, I mean, is it one of those situations where you're not that scared of it, but you know they'll pick it, so you just let it go because you're scared of other things more?
I think you're more scared of the Chen, just because of the Zoo push that can kind of come from that. The Venge, it gives you like the aura and all that, but like you can Roche fine with like and Death Prophet. The Venge makes it faster, but the Roche is going to happen regardless if VP get ahead, maintain map control. Towers are going to fall with or without the Venge. I think a Beastmaster is maybe more scary than a Venge as far as being like a Necrobook purchaser who provides the attack speed aura, which is another just scary pushing threat. And I think adds more push power than a Venge does.
Okay, what do we think of Liquid's draft so far? Because you said that they want to plan for late game. Also picking up the Darkseer, so they have some extra turtle potential, if you will, extra lane control there to push the waves out. What do you feel like is going to be their main strength of this game? What are they going to focus on?
Team fight. They want like big wombo combo. They've got Darkseer, Invoker. I imagine we're going to, whether it's Quaz-Wex or like the Chaos Meteor Deafening Blast, there's a lot of team fight synergy between their heroes so far, and I imagine even a Matumba Man pick is going to be something with like some team fight presence. They haven't actually got an IO partner right now. Sven, unfortunately, take away. But you throw a Tiny in there as well, suddenly you're looking at a really scary, potent team fight. And
Wyvern.
I've not seen this one in a while. The Jerax, it used to be one of his most played heroes. And
this is another hero that kind of does well against the Zoo push.
And it's really good with Lycan, because Lycan does so much damage. Imagine poor Dazzle standing next to the Lycan.
They're also fully physical right now for Virtus.Pro. Not fully physical, but like Crypt Swarm is really their only magical damage right now.
Yeah, I really like I like the the Winter Wyvern pick in this one.
She's in a good spot right now as a situational pick. I don't think we haven't hardly seen her at all. I don't think she's bad. I just think she's highly situational. You pick her in situations where the other team's doing like Zoo pushes, so you can curse and get a lot of those, get those Necro minions and wolves attacking the Lycan, and you can also just Cold Embrace whoever's getting Exorcism at the moment or whoever Lycan is going on. So it works pretty well.
If you're in Virtus.Pro shoes right now, would you pick up your offlane first or your support first? In terms of draft order?
I think if they want something like a Beastmaster, they may try and pick it up now if they're afraid it's going to get banned. It really depends like what heroes they have in mind and how likely they think they are to get banned. They may want to mix it up and throw in like some magic damage that can go through a Cold Embrace here. And they're going to get Disruptor, so they get a support, something that I think Lil plays ridiculously well, one of his more played heroes as well. And it kind of, like you try and Cold Embrace save someone, well, it sets up for a lot of Disruptor spells if you're using it defensively.
Yeah, so they're saving their offlaner for last. Nyx Assassin is actually the one that Liquid is wary of.
Nope.
I guess that's fair enough.
It's on a pushing hero, but it's like a tempo control, and I don't think you want to get 3 all-in pushing heroes. The Beastmaster kind of that hybrid where he pushes, but he also gives you the lockdown as well as just like a kind of initiator as well, which is something they slightly lack outside of the Disruptor.
Yeah, and they would have a bit of more vision control with that Nyx Assassin as well, which is
Team
very important if you want to try to get pickups or split push and see where the enemies are. Rather, we have Virtus.Pro banning out the CK, so they
All
saw
the IO
Alliance
pairs
do it.
except the Tiny.
Yeah, they're
Interesting.
ready for the
They're
Tiny.
not worried about the Tiny, apparently.
I mean,
And they didn't pick the Vinge. I'm actually surprised they didn't go for the Vinge. Disruptor's a good pick here, though.
Yeah, they wanted more team fight. They really too single target focused right now, and I think that was like a very big limitation for them.
10 seconds
So
remaining.
both teams, Liquid looking for a last pick
5 seconds
onto
remaining.
the safe lane, and VP looking for that last pick onto their off lane.
Reserve time.
And
Oh, is this? Let's see. Is this the Matumba Invoker?
I mean, it could be in just Ember. It could be. I guess. But Fata normally plays it. Ember
Okay.
Spirit still works. Like you get the Iron Shell Ember Spirit. You're against Disrupt, and that's the other nice thing about the Disruptor over the Venge is it does kind of preemptively deter an Ember Spirit pick, which is one of Matumba Man's better heroes.
Okay.
I don't think Ember's great this game as far as dealing with Disruptor and Death Prophet Silence. And here we go!
You mentioned it.
Oh, I'm so glad we got Nursa. I'm also sad because I have to go cast the other game. So
I think you're too late already.
I'm too late.
You
Nice.
might have
Yeah.
been.
All right.
In which case, you can be watching
Maybe.
watching this game
I don't
and
know,
get some
I've-
Matuma Man Ursa. But the pick fits.
Yep.
It's very good against Death Prophet as well. Just jumper. Focus her down. Mostly, I feel like with the Ursa there as well, you mentioned at the start of the
10
game that it looks like
seconds
Virtus.Pro is going for push, while Liquid is trying to delay for the late game. With the Ursa
5
pickup,
seconds
they can
remaining.
actually deal with the early game a lot better as well.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit less so with the late game. Do you feel like late game they're well decked out to deal with Virtus.Pro if it does go to past 40 minutes or so?
Ursa not known for his ability to scale 2 on the late game, mostly because he doesn't farm very well, but I think they do still go pretty well late game. Like Darkseid, Wyvern, just a classic kind of late game ulti duo. And Ursa, like he's gonna just fight and farm so well that he's gonna itemize well into late game with Ursa.
I think the biggest thing for Liquid is that they were really wanting to make sure that they could contest the Roche, and so they have a really good team fight.
Yeah, they now have
around the
Beastmaster
pit.
division too. Yeah,
Exactly. So
I think Beastmaster was like I was talking about the pick like third or fourth.
Roche is going to be a huge key this fight, or this game, I think.
Yeah.
I will be a little bit opinionated for this game. I actually think Virtus.Pro has a bit of slightly edge on the draft. I feel like their lineup is easier to execute. I'm not saying that's better, but it seems to be easier to execute in a more clear game plan. I want to hear your guys' opinions. Who do you think is going to take this based on draft?
I think the draft's pretty even, but I totally agree. The kind of all-in Death Prophet type push strat's much easier to execute. There's more room for error. You mess up a push, you die a few times, and you just go again next exorcism. All it takes is one successful team fight, and you take down a couple towers, you take a roast. So I think the draft is pretty even, but I think Liquid have to play better overall. Like they can't make mistakes this game. There's more pressure on them.
And with that in mind, K-pop, anything in specific that viewers have to look out for? Like if Team Liquid gets this done, they're in a good spot to actually be able to come forth and take the game from Virtus.Pro?
As I said before, I think it comes down to Roche control.
Okay.
Ursa can do very strong, get Roche quick, but if he gets denied that by Virtus.Pro's ability to get Roche very easy as well, it's going to be a tough game for them.
Okay, let's keep an eye on the Roshan and see who gets the cheese, the ages, and all that jazz. It is time for Virtus.Pro taking on Team Liquid with LD and Winter.
Well, Winter, you were doing a little celebratory dance here. You did call the Ursa pick, but nobody heard it. And if you've made a godly prediction and there's no one there to hear it, did you even make the godly prediction at all? That's the question.
It doesn't matter, you know.
We leave it to you, Twitch chat. We leave it to you to decide if Winter gets credit or not.
But it was a good Ursa game, I think, because they want Dire. And number two, that against DP, you want to have instant burst, so you take her out of the fight very quickly, so the exorcism doesn't do too much damage in team fight. So those are the things that you want to have. So DP probably, after the use, maybe consider to get a Ghost Scepter this game. Those are the items that would be helping the DP survive against the Ursa.
All right, we're underway, Winter. VP taking on Liquid, two of the bigger name teams. Both will be showing their faces at the major. So an important match here. Only a BO1. VP with the very classic push strat. Map control heavy physical damage. Liquid with the very unorthodox Wyvern pick. This hero largely forgotten in this patch.
They have weak lanes though.
Since
like
the
VP's
nerf.
lanes, yeah, after the nerf, he's not so useful in terms of like his combo, but I think he still provides a lot of D push against VP. Like you want to have D push against a lineup that wants to 5-man. So that's the good point about having Wyvern in this game. But like I mentioned, the lanes are looking really good. I like Liquid's lanes, so they can actually snowball from their lanes and play a very fast-paced game, keep taking objectives and get Roshan. Like K-pop mentioned, it's going to be important for them to secure the Roche for themselves. It's always when you see Ursa versus Lycan, Rosh battle. Whoever gets the Rosh will decide whoever takes control of the game.
A pause here. We'll have a moment. So looking at the lanes, it's going to be very stock and standard from VP. The offlane Beastmaster, your Death Prophet mid, Dazzle, somewhat roaming and protecting that mid lane. We'll see Lil Hardy trying to get his fast level 6 here in the bottom lane, going for the pulls, and then of course the Lycan farming the safe lane. As for Liquid, running the Darkseer, for now at least looks like he's solo. Maybe Kuroki comes to assist a little bit. We'll see.
Kuroki's, I think, a freelancer this game. He can be anywhere. Like, he's just going to be helping them secure the lanes. Because I think, like Parker mentioned, it's very important for Liquid to get a good start, win their lanes, and then make plays and dictate the game. Because it's easier for VP to execute their plan. They just need to group up, get their levels, and push towers.
And I don't actually think Liquid are that good at defending their towers. Sure, they have vacuum into the Wyvern ult, but that's it.
Splinter Blast, that's about it, yeah.
Maybe if Fada hits a godly Deafening Blast Meteor, but you can't really rely on that.
Vacuum into Meteor plus Blast, I can see that happening.
But the thing is also like the amount of levels you need, right? Whereas you look at VP, like they don't have to wait until the 15 to 20 minute mark to start taking towers. They could take them at like the 10 minute. And the tier 1s probably all drop before then. So Liquid won't even be online as far as the Darkseer and Invoker levels go.
I agree. But the good thing is that overall, early game, they're laning, like the heroes on their lanes are much better. So.
Right, which goes back to the original point that they can't easily stop the push if they don't have an edge. So they do need that good start.
If you look at all the lanes, like Beastmaster, I think it's going to have a hard time at top against those two heroes, the Ursa plus the Wyvern, and maybe the Wisp rotating in. So, and like you mentioned, Dazzle might have to help mid lane. So it's kind of going to be difficult for them to help the Beastmaster. So I expect the Beastmaster to have a tough time this game. And shutting him down would mean that there won't be initiation because he's their main, like he's the only stun, basically. Claims, okay, it's a stun, but it's not that reliable in a lot of situations. So they have to rely on the Beastmaster to start the fights mostly. Can you unbind the key?
You can normally in the console just type unbind space the key, like name like enter or K or whatever it is, and then it normally will remove the command from the key binding. But I'm not sure.
I have no idea when it comes.
If it's a setting, then you need the actual command.
I have no idea when it comes to all these settings. You probably have to ask Mr. Jackie Mao. He probably knows a lot about the settings.
We are absolutely perplexed, guys. If you know the command, please help us. We need your help.
I know one command. When I'm playing Dota with you and your Chen, dash disable.
I don't play Chen.
This
is already a fake story because I literally never play Chen.
Disable help.
Just send you back constantly. No, you haven't played with my Tiny yet. That's where the real fun begins.
If I disable help, can you
Cannonball!
Can you toss me if I disable help?
Yeah.
You can still toss me?
You can always toss.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play with you if you play Tiny.
Toss. I think toss is the only one that you can't actually disable help.
If you're
because otherwise you could abuse it by like heroes that you never want to toss disable help, and then it would give you an unfair advantage where you didn't have to be skillful with like being closest to the right hero. So that's actually one where it would be imbalanced.
So smart. You're actually so smart, dude. You should be the admin. Make some rules for tournaments.
I agree. I am really freaking smart.
They're wasting your talents, making you cast down here.
Feels good, man. It's nice to be appreciated, That's why I came here. To the land of winter. To be told nice things by winter.
The land of winter.
It's a winter paradise here.
I wouldn't say it's...
They're building the stadium, or the stage right now.
It's not a paradise.
What?
When you can't even step outside of the building. I don't consider...
This is your home turf. It's winter. What are you complaining about?
I'm complaining...
It's snowing. It's ice. It's cold as hell.
It being too cold for me.
I'm pretty sure all my future potential children died earlier today when we got off the bus. It's sad, but it's true.
Your potential children?
Yeah.
What?
Don't you play dumb with me.
What? Did you lose a lot of babies when you were coming over?
Potential.
So bullets. You lost a lot of bullets.
Oh my God. We are paused, guys. We have no idea what's going on. I think they're looking for the command right now. So just taking it easy here. Pretty big match, though. With Liquid dropping that game to Wings, they actually really need this one.
Huh? Liquid lost the game?
Where were you?
I was doing panel for the other game, dude. How would I know?
Dude.
Dude. No, I was casting with Lumi. So
Yeah.
I was occupied by Lumi.
Lumi kidnapped you. I
Yeah.
think it's fair to say. You weren't even scheduled to cast, but he's like, you know what? I just love cast with Winter so much that
Can we have a swap, guys?
let's
He's asking.
get Winter in here.
Can we have a swap? Parker, would you mind swapping?
I hate casting with you. I like this guy. He's pretty nice. He's a swell fella.
No, I want the Ming Lee team. That's what he said.
You're on the Ming Lee team.
No.
You know, there are Ming Lee T-shirts, by the way. The CS:GO interviewer was wearing one. So.
The grill.
The grill, yes.
I heard her name is Sue, and she looks.
You sound like a stalker,
And
but
she looks-
her name is indeed Sue.
Yes, she is.
She's very nice. I
Because-
spoke to her earlier.
because Conrad told me that her name is Sue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see you've been doing a little digging, little preparation. But anyway, the important thing is that she has a Ming Ling T-shirt, so
No.
you might be able to get one.
No, the important thing that
If you want to,
No.
represent the Ming
no,
Lees.
the important thing is she's not available. You dumbass. That's important.
By the way, guys, this is exactly how he is, just all the time. This is not his on-camera persona. This is not an act. This is regular Winter. Just average day. You know, when you wake up in the morning.
I don't wake up in the morning.
When do you wake up?
At noon.
Help! Somebody please send help.
Resume the game. We're just waiting for the game to resume, guys. So, you know, my friends told me, at boot camp, Ninja Boogie always tells me nothing good happens after midnight.
I would say on average that is probably more true than not true, but there are some pretty big exceptions.
Yeah, because when I'm at the boot camp, I would be just like casting some random pub game, and we're watching the game, and I'm like yelling, and then everyone's like looking at me. I thought you guys were bored, and then they were looking at me, and Ninja Boogie were like, nothing happens. Nothing good happens after 12.
Well, I think that's a little too absolutist. Sometimes great things happen after 12.
Getting late.
Midnight snack? Yes, that as well.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, I said that too.
That usually happens around the clock, you know, not only after 12.
Oh, well, I mean, not everyone's as busy as you, Mr. Suave.
Mr. What, sloth?
Suave.
Suave.
Not sloth.
What, S-U-A-V?
Suave. Suave, like smooth.
Oh, I thought that was Parker.
Did you see that hair? There's
No.
nothing suave about that. My God. Can we just, shave that off? What's going on there, man?
Apparently, he said that he wasn't able to wash his hair, so he just woke up with that hair and,
No, he said, I'll fix it when I get there. If that's fixed, I mean, I would hate to see it when it's broken.
I don't think he fixed anything there, because everything was not right.
No. He really has, the most kawaii hair, though. It just sticks out in every angle. It's, straight out of Dragon Ball Z.
Super Saiyan,
Yeah. He's more Super Saiyan than us.
but he does not have any special powers. You should be able to fly with that hair.
That is his special power.
What?
Has hair that can stick out in any direction for no reason. That's his power. I mean, it's not a great power.
Oh, game resume.
It's a power.
Well
though.
done.
All right.
All right.
Now we talk about Dota.
Dota 2, boys. Oh, no. It's all your fault. You said we're going to talk about...
Yes. Oh, God. I'm also affected by this pause, unfortunately. Well, Winter, what else do you got for us? How are you enjoying the hotel?
I'm sharing the room with Donger, so I'm enjoying the hotel.
Well, you have your own room. So how did you end up sharing one with him?
Because
Would you like to tell us the
Because
story?
we chose to share the room.
Is it a lifestyle choice here that we're talking about, or
It's a bedtime choice.
a friendship pact? Did you pinky swear on it?
No, but it was okay. It was just
How do you feel about my Survivor Major plan, by the way? Do you like the idea?
of what?
Instead of everything needing to be perfect conditions, why don't we just make it intentionally challenging, and then we'll see the real champions? Like, you remember the old Natural 9? How they had to play with Australian ping? 300, 400 ping. Why don't we intentionally make teams lag, or have a fan blowing on them, or a light in their eyes, or maybe they're in the middle of the jungle and there's poisonous snakes coming at them. What do you think about it?
You're a terrible organizer. Except for the summit. What? That's true. The summit was fun.
Yeah, it was. We took care of you.
But I'm pretty sure if you move the summit to some random jungle in the Amazon, no one would appreciate
The Amazon?
Okay, that was not the right pronunciation.
It is Amazon, by the way, for those who are wondering.
Okay, the jungle to some random Borneo jungle.
Some random Borneo jungle.
Yeah, or maybe Australian jungle is better because it's more dangerous.
I don't think Australia has jungles.
But Australia has a lot of dangerous animals. So I assume they have a jungle there.
Jungle doesn't equal dangerous animals. That's not how climate works.
Okay, they have dangerous animals in the desert in Australia.
All right. We're going to play through the lag. This is the beginning of the suffering.
Beginning of the summit, boys.
The summiting.
All right.
All right. Well, Death Prophet thing's happening mid. Nothing much to see here. Just G giving the old pain to Fada. G has been playing really well this event, I have to say.
This is the better build, I must say. Maxing the Siphon first over the Crypt Swarm.
Yeah, and then getting usually the ult at level 6 and actually using it early, which was not always the case.
So 4 balls here getting zone out. Like he has 2 CS so far, but going to get a lot of experience. Not sure how that happened. Maybe they missed a pull, or he was using his ball to pull the creeps because we were busy talking about our whatever conversations we were having. Okay, it was all my fault. Sorry.
I would at least say like 80% your fault. I'll take 20% of the responsibility. Here they go though. They're looking to make a move with mind control.
Wait,
nice.
Darksia's here?
Yeah, roaming. Hey guys, just wanted to make sure that you're still there.
If that,
Io's doing some tether shenanigans.
If that was a Slada,
like.
I would be very not surprised that happening. But
looking for the side pulls, it appears.
He wants to tether over. You need the range creep, so he actually has the.
He's got the old Dark Troll Summoner now.
But the Dark Troll Summoner is not.
It's pretty far and does get it. Nicely done.
Commanded.
So they are trying to abuse the economy game a bit, Liquid.
They are trying to lose their tier 1 bottom faster. That's what they're doing. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Jesus.
Relax. So he denied a full wave of creeps, so Lycan is not happy. I think that was the
Lycan's going to take out his anger on the tower.
That was the second wave of creeps that he denied, I think.
Yeah, I think he denied one more earlier.
Because if you look at the CS discrepancy between the Ursa and the Lycan, it seems like it was the second wave.
And meanwhile, in the mid lane, big engagement breakout as G goes on to Fada, forced to pop the Fairy Fire just to survive. And this seems to be a recurring theme that...
Oh, no!
Oh, this lane just got really hard. It's only a level 1 Quas. May have to even ferry out more regen.
That is some sad life there from the Evoker. Oh no, look at the wolves. He's trying to drag the creeps away.
Oh, this is cute. The counter jungle shenanigans. It's not like he needs them in the lane, so I actually like this quite a bit.
Well, you have to be very cautious about playing with Liquid about all these off-lane pulls. They do it a lot. You have to block the camp. Then every time they have a whisk or like something that can possibly do the off-lane pull, you have to most likely just block the camp from the start.
Again on the mid lane, G just destroying Fada.
Man, isn't that so fun as the DP? Because your enemy can't do anything to you.
Yeah, they can't do anything. They can't trade blows. They are going to lose the trade as Low moves in. He's got the level 2 glimpse available. He's going to let it fly now right into G's waiting arms. Does he have a nuke? Oh, not enough. Kuroki with the save, but it might cause Kuroki is like because the armor's just so damn low. Through the trees, winding his way. Maybe Lil Hardy will end up being the kill instead. Fada pops out. Surprise!
The captain
Kuro,
with the place.
Not only destroying the off lane here, but now got to salvage the mid lane too.
Oh my god.
They don't call him K-God for nothing.
That was such a big play right there.
My goodness.
a play that would change the face of the early game.
Dire's bottom tower is
That-
Potentially
they
the
needed to
tournament
win the
and the
lane,
world
you know?
as we know it.
Come on, they needed to win the lane.
Oh, they did. Now G, though, he's going to pay as the meteor rolls in. There's the grave. Still, do they look to chase uphill with the disruptor here? It might be a bridge too far. The timing not quite right. No, he just going to take down to the IO. Kuroki again. That last hit on the orb.
Oh my god, Kuroki proves
Splashing his way through.
that
And
he's gonna win his team the lanes.
suddenly, from a weird extra jungle hero on Liquid to a six hero mid lane.
Extra jungle hero on Liquid.
Yeah.
You call-
Darkseer.
He doesn't even...
He was jungling.
Okay, fine. But I wouldn't say he's an extra hero, you know. You make it sound like he's like useful.
Well, the lanes, I'm saying. The lanes have been weird. Now it's 3v3 mid. Feels like overthrow.
I'm gonna call you the extra member of my team next time when I pub with you. Because you don't do anything. Okay, I'm just kidding.
We actually never pub, by the way.
Radiant's
Winter's
top
full of
tower
shit.
is under attack.
We played one
He's too much of a
one
tryhard.
time.
I wouldn't play with
you. know,
you.
we played one time, TI4. That's the only time we played together.
Yeah, no, I remember that game. That was fun. This is not so fun, though, for the Disruptor. We'll go down again. Jerax getting caught out. Oh, G found him.
Hello.
Sucky, sucky. God, it's so annoying to play against her. And he will pay.
The power that slays you, slew me too.
Oh my god. Just when you thought that Prophet is done for.
Well, some teams are not really favoring her, but VP probably, I think, one of the most likely to run her out of anyone.
I think if you know how to run her, she's actually just super strong. It's like knowing how to build a draft around the Death Prophet, a push draft, and I think you need two things. A draft that can push, and you have to be able to have supports that can keep the DP alive, a defensive support, or sometimes...
Yeah, or you just have to have like a roamer that can gank the lane and free her up, because she is very vulnerable to that early pressure.
Yep, I think those two are the most important things you want to have around the DP draft. A defensive support plus a lineup that you can push and take towers and siege.
They will finish off one more, Matumba Man, but Matumba Man quietly having a very easy game here in the offlane. 55, 56 CS
I mean,
now.
Ursa versus Beastmaster in the lane.
Yeah, not much you can do.
It's just a sad life for the Beastmaster. He even started the lane with boots, so you can't really pressure the Ursa that much. I mean, he still has good levels so far, and he has some farm.
When do you think we'll see a move towards the Roche pit for Liquid?
I think they want to move to the Roche pit without worrying about VP being able to contest, because VP has good heroes to contest and Hawk to scout, so they need to like sort of maybe push out the lanes and try to smoke just the Ursa in. Otherwise, if it's too obvious and it gives if they are going to give VP a lot of time to react, the DP can just walk over and contest. So they need to choose the timings very wisely.
Kuroki, Sunstrike, and oh man, the orbital ion cannon has been activated. First usage, a massive success.
Headshot. Can we call that?
And the best part is you can't grave that because you don't know it's coming.
No, sometimes you actually know it's coming. You know, it's
Sometimes.
the sixth sense,
Yeah.
the game sense. You know, you just preemptively.
Or if your
do
mid calls it out, but not easy.
If you're my mid, I'm pretty sure you won't call it out.
Oh no, I would call it out after you died. I'd be like, hey Winter, by the way, I think he's about to sunstrike you, buddy. Watch out. Oh, Jerax again.
Of course I know he's gonna sunstrike me because I'm already.
Because you're already dead. And then I would go back to cliff jungling as Prophet with my Iron
I
Talon.
thought you were playing Legion Commander.
Oh, I've moved on from LC. They're going to commit here on the Roshan. Matumba Man really wants this. He's relying on the auto attacks to keep himself alive, but literally the entire VP team is streaming in towards the pit. The one man not here yet is the Beastmaster. Suddenly, Silent Low is going to get graved up, kept alive for now. Kuroki in the pit. Roshan still healthy. They've given up on the old bastard for the time being, but Flick would want to come back in. The exorcism going. Is it G's turn to feed in the pit with the Ursa dead? It seems they're going to take turns trading their lives for nothing. And now the Wolves working on mind control. Almost finished off. The Boar slowing him down a little bit. Absolute madness erupting here. And it seems like Ursa will be up first. And with the Exorcism down,
That's a big victory.
Liquid
for
can walk in and take it.
The cooldowns have been expanded from BP, especially for the Death Prophet. So this Roshan is fairly secured for Liquid right now. That was such a ballsy move because VP could have they came over so quickly.
And I like how the play was not like, all right, let's like play it safe or go fight them. It was.
And you know what was the important move that he made? He
he almost got the glimpse back to Fountain.
He didn't run away.
He just kept hitting the Roche.
Yeah, he kept hitting, so he lifestealed a lot to make sure that he was able to tank the majority of the damage, so the team can actually come in to fight.
He almost got the glimpse back to the well there. If that was like a second earlier, Lil could have really disrupted
Round two.
Here we go. Roshan, though, the Fury Swipes have not stacked up, so he's actually going to take a bit of a while to kill off here. And Matuma Man decides he'd rather go for the hero kills instead. Mind Control running forward. Silent in danger. The Grave is going to come out, but it's on FNG to save himself. They lose the Lycan again. The Ursa's out of control now. 3 falling down. G, with no Exorcism, has to back away. And this time, Liquid, they have marked their territory, and they will be looking to claim the Roche, but watch out for the Wolves.
Watch out for
Be careful.
the sentries, my friend.
Be careful. Sentries.
Versus finishing Roshan.
Watch out!
Alright,
he's fine. So,
Rod of Atos.
big win for Liquid.
Rod of Atos on Fata. It's a.
That's obviously a Bloodstone Winter.
It's a very good build at solo. Like you see a lot of pub players doing it. It's very good at solo killing supports. Atos and your Forge Spirits hitting on the support, easy kill.
Do you like it more than the Yules?
Yes, depending on lineup and situation. In certain games, yes, it's better.
So G again.
You know, that's basically how I feel every day here in Minsk. Cold and braced.
They are going to go for the jump on the mid lane. Fada in a very aggressive position, but with the Vitality Booster, has that bit of extra health to survive this one. They do turn on him. No Invoke cooldown for some time, so there is a trade, but a Beastmaster for an Invoker, and Liquid looking for more as they will push this tower down bottom lane. Now their objective to be claimed here.
So Blink Dagger for Fuzzy Wuzzy after this. Because you need to be able to blow up the DP. I think the DP is always the key target that the Ursa wants to focus every fight. You want to take her out before she does too much damage in team fights.
Well, Ursa's going to be the aggressor here.
Yeah, but then he needs someone to take care of the Dazzle, so teamwork.
Yeah, that is one thing Liquid are very lacking on, is proper lockdown. They've really just got the Wyvern little from the Invoker.
Vacuum plus the curse, so if you actually curse the
if you hit the combo,
the Dazzle next to like the Lycan, the Dazzle just dies. Or you can also use the curse just so you stop him from graving the Death Prophet while your Ursa kills the Death Prophet. That's fine too.
Liquid marching down mid now. Matumba Man up in the aggressive posture. And they're going to start looking to take down towers. They want to get the most they can out of the Sages. As for VP, dodging the fights, they'll split push top instead. Exorcism has been committed just for a tier 1. Liquid will keep on plunging their way towards deeper objectives now, continuing on to the tier 2. And VP, Exorcism will wear off here relatively soon, so they won't have the same level of push that they did for that tier 1.
Fuzzy Wuzzy is setting up for the defense here.
If he catches anyone, he can play really aggressive.
Yeah, but if they realize the Ursa is not here, they can immediately engage in mid. Oh, they get the glimpse on Kuroki?
They do get the Roar as well. Kuroki has the relocate available. He's kept alive by the Wyvern. But Static Storm is going to catch him out, and they will have to sacrifice Kuroki. Now
he was thinking about the curse right there.
Ursa's coming back, though. He's not too far away. VP, do they see him? He wants to jump. Hello, G. Blinks, gets off the clap, but now being siphoned and slowed down, and then the Poison Touch, they're kiting him. He's committed the ultimate very early in the fight. It's a lot of his potential damage down the drain, but oh god.
There was once a Dazzle.
FNG, just eviscerated.
There was once a Dazzle right there. It wasn't even 1 second before he took him out.
The Bear's Claws just ripped him to bits.
Ghost Scepter. My kingdom for Ghost Scepter on the supports this game.
And then Invoker's going to have even more fun.
Okay, Yules.
Something. Any sort of defensive item will do. But yeah, Ghost Scepter quite good against the old bear. As he is going to just maul G in the middle lane. Somebody call the Forest Rangers, please. We've got an uncaged bear, Matumba Man. For now, trying to back away. The Wolves are going to work on him. Maybe they can actually finish him off. He uses the ultimate. Relocate's coming in. They might turn this one. Kuroki's there. Gets the tether off. Matumba goes back in. Glimpsing away the IO, though. Well played, but Jerax manages to get off the curse. FNG low and will fall to this as Vada tries to complete the kill on silent. Successful in doing so. Now turns his attention to Phobos. Phobos with the roar, but no backup whatsoever. Look for the big clap. Oh, Jerax saving him again. Gets off the curse. Makes the play as well to prevent the Wolves from killing the bear. And now they go in for an additional round of aggression. Lil Hardy could well be next here. The Raptor down 2. Fada on the run. It seems that little extra bit of HP for the Atos may make the difference. Then Kuro to the rescue. Liquid hanging on. Kill after kill. 17-8. Looks like they have fully rejuvenated from the Wings beatdown earlier. They are dominating VP.
Oh my god, the team play is just superb there from Liquid. Like one guy bailing out another guy, waiting for the next cooldown to come in, and Wiz, after the relocate, TP's back in because of the drawn out fight and managing to save the Invoker once more. That team play right there, but it all started with the curse from Jerax on 4 heroes. That was the MVP in the fight.
Radiant's middle tower
Gets a big objective off of that. Liquid now, tier 2 down. They're going to rotate on the top lane. We do see the Dazzle trying to poke his head out, but there's a tier 1 up, and that is just not going to be easily defended by VP. Maybe they try to sideswipe the back lines. There is no curse right now. The wall is ready.
Do they need the curse now? That is the question, you know. They're just very far ahead. Like, Ursa kills anyone instantly, provided the Dazzle is disabled by someone. Vacuum, or like a curse, or anything else like Cold Snap. You know, if the Dazzle is not there, like anyone just dies to the Ursa.
10-1-4 on this Invoker. Absolutely gargantuan game.
Yeah, he's been getting all the kills, you know.
But it all goes back to the early IO play. Like that.
Oh yeah.
That lane could have been totally different.
At least you remember the supports, you know. I thought you carry players always, forget about what the supports did. The supports were stacking, saving.
You know, I am so tired of supports whining about getting enough appreciation.
Alright.
I appreciate you, Winter. Now quit your bitching.
I don't play support, dude.
Anything that's not the one position is a support.
Really?
No. I'm just kidding. Alright, VP, they've made their move off into the Liquid jungle. Now they want to actually take a fight here, but that's dangerous. They know there's no Roshan just yet. But it's going to be coming back fairly soon here.
By the way, the new build on Ursa is that you might actually get Aghanim's after your first damage item. Like, Aghanim's is very good on Ursa.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like Abaddon, you can pop it when you're stunned.
It does. It literally makes him Abaddon.
And you know how much I like to play Abaddon.
Fog loves Abaddon as well. He's like, I need some MMR. I'm just going to play Abaddon off lane.
Oh, relocate. Phobos?
Phobos has been found. The ward giving vision here, allowing Liquid to go for the dive. And another quick kill for the meat grinder.
Okay. Proven. Rod of Atos. Good choice by Fata. Save him middle. Sets up a few kills before that. And
he would have at least 2 more deaths, I think, without the Atos. And, you know, that could have snowballed into him dying a lot more. I agree. It's been a big game changer.
It's a very wise decision to go for the Atos instead of the standard use. So, in some games you want to get Atos against like heroes like a Wraith King, like any melee cores, but this game is just like the stats were really good for him to survive. And Mind Control getting caught there. Spirit Siphon.
That's a nice Siphon there. A lot of work getting done, but G now does get cursed. Jerax there with the initiation. The wall gets dropped, but G is at least graved, allowed to do a bit more during this fight, but is it going to be enough to turn it? Silent comes for the rear, and the Wolf is forced out of the fight. Mind Control just charging after him, going to burn him down. It looks like I hear a Sunstrike. Doesn't look like it actually connects, but still G on the run is going to scurry away. G ends up surviving. Great Dazzle play there to keep him alive. A 3 for 2, still favoring Liquid. But overall, in terms of the numbers,
the bear is down.
The bear has been slain.
Radiant's bottom
but
is under attack.
that did force out the ultimate on the Death Prophet. So maybe now they're going to make a move. 100 seconds. Might not have the ult for the next Roche. Just going to have the ult for the next.
What can they do here? Maybe just get a tier 2. Oh, Fata
oh, this is huge. Fata already ready with the Ghost Walk, but they're also prepared. They brought the dust, and he's going to try to come out of the Ghost Walk. Tosses out the Deafening Blast, turns on a little Hardy, and Fata will fall. That's a mega kill streak. VP. It does go to the Dazzle. Maybe not the best hero, but man, they're glad they got that kill.
Darkseid is very close to his blink, so that would actually help them set up the fights. If you remember the fight when they got the curse off, if that was a dagger, I think that fight would have been over because they were so clumped up and he couldn't get into position and get the vacuum off earlier. So that is like the next key item that Liquid is going to look to have for their fights.
A couple of big kills look given away by Liquid here. I imagine they're going to want to slow the game down, wait for that next Roshan before they reinitiate with aggression.
Because their lineup can't afford to really lose tempo. Once they lose tempo, VP's lineup is just like we mentioned, much easier to execute. You don't really need any flashy plays. Just pop your ultimates, get one target rolled, and grave the DP, and you should be able to win the team fights.
VP rolling down to the bottom rune now. G is going to collect it. He's gone back for the Aether Lens, so you're very standard build. They're scouting the Roche Pit here with Sunstrike.
It's like the new standard build.
Yeah. I mean, it's I say new standard. It's been like a day that we've seen it, but everyone's going for it now. Seems very potent.
Yeah, I want to see the Aghanims on the Ursa. That's fun.
I don't know if we're going to.
Why not?
Maybe it doesn't seem like something Matova Man would buy.
I think it's a core item though, after the Basher.
You think it's a core item after the Basher?
Yeah, you want to have the item.
Has anyone built Aghanims on Ursa yet in this patch?
I am not sure.
I don't think there's been a single one bought in a competitive game.
I'll ask Mr. K-Pop Tosses right now if I have internet on my phone. Too bad I don't.
Oh, well, you lost. Guess who does have internet on his phone?
You, but you refuse to ask, and you're gonna get glimpse.
That's... I'm not Ursa, bro. Oh, man, what have you been smoking, my friend? Here we go. Darkseer up on the high ground. Will get silenced out. Mind Control getting caught, and now Silent Morphing. They want to focus down the Darkseer, but the Wyvern's there in reserve to keep him alive. Io also there. Everything for Mind Control. Save the Bulgarian. They can't do it. He falls in the end, and now Liquid need to scatter. There's the glimpse. Matoma Man caught out in danger, but he does pop the ultimate, kept alive for the time being. That's going to prompt to relocate. Get the Ursa back to safety is the call. Fada now with the Ghost Walk, sprinting in retreat, but VP on the hunt. Ghost Walking. They still have vision. Follow those icy footsteps. VP, they drop the sentry. They maintain some semblance of control over him, and, well, they got distracted by Fada to the point where they actually managed to get both heroes that relocated out of the picture. Fada turns, seeing this, and wants to re-engage. Wyvern sweeping around, maybe even going to have to commit himself to save the fight. Fada with a level 1 Wex has invoked the Tornado, just whatever he can get his grubby paws on to stay alive for the time being. The Ursa thrown up in the air again. Fada gets glimpsed back. There's the Tornado. It's a short-range one, but it gets the job done, and Kuroki re-engages. Liquid somehow have minimized the casualties, and Silent could be next as the Exorcism has worn off. They definitely blast him, trap him in the corner. What the hell is going on in this fight? Now G has to turn and run. Liquid, I don't even know what they did there, but Liquid they clearly got lessons from Houdini.
Liquid are doing it. Man, the two supports, the overcharge plus the co-embrace, they just kept everyone alive.
I thought they were just going to camp the IO relocate.
Their lineup is just really... They camp the IO relocate, but they glimpse him back to the base. I thought you saw that.
No, they chased the Invoker, though.
Yeah, but they were split up. They were trying to kill the IO, then they were...
I think they could have just camped the IO, though, and gotten the free kill.
Yep, I agree. But Invoker's the bigger kill, you know, so you need to look at the bigger picture.
That was just great baiting by Fada. He's like, come and get me, guys.
Long fights definitely favor Liquid. Once the Death Prophet ultimate is off.
Oh, what was that? Back in the Tornado. Beautiful place from Liquid, but on top of it will get roared here. They're trying to crack this base wide open, chucking out nukes. Fada will have to retreat as FNG is kept alive. Nice timing on the Grave Sunstrike. Got him! Oh, beautiful stuff. Fada is turning this into a game of NBA Jam. Just keeps on sniping people all over the place.
You know, we call that Tai Chi because you move your opponents around and you just play around them, bounce them around, you know, feel that like they just can't get you and you just like play the dodging game, running around in circles, wait for their cooldowns.
And they're going to find Silent now. They even have a curse ready if they need it. Should the team try to show up and help him. Gets caught by the Tornado. Nobody in sight. And down he goes. So Liquid grab yet another. And with that, it looks like Ursa already doing the Roche.
Yep, basically, when VP pop their Lycan ultimate and Death Prophet ultimate, they need to get kills. Once those spells are down, they have to run. If they don't run, they're just going to die to Liquid. So last two fights, that was what happened. So well played to Liquid, understanding that they just need to kite around, wait for the ultimates to run out, and re-engage after. Those two supports were just MVP. With the co-embrace, the overcharge, Tether keeping all their teammates alive.
And the Darkseer Invoker combo as well has been increasingly impressive to watch. They're going to relocate now. They set up Matumba Man going to work. Oh, there used to be a Ghost Lady there. Not any longer.
Ghost Lady needs a Ghost Scepter. 100%. Please.
I would agree at this point.
She's going to Atos? Oh well, I guess Atos is good versus Ursa.
I mean, Octarine maybe?
Oh yeah, probably just Octarine, yeah.
But even then, it's...
I don't know, I think she needs to be able, like, if you get, no matter
I think she's
how
just
much...
gonna... The extra HP doesn't help
Yeah,
you all that
you
much
die
against
anyway,
Ursa.
like, that's my issue.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much HP you get, you still die if you don't have Ghost Scepter. Maybe it's just like he's counting on the Dazzle to keep him alive all the time, and he just keeps building on his core build, the Octarine. Just try to get as late as possible. Instead of trying to build like any small items that would help him right now, he's looking to go for the late game.
Well, I can tell you Liquid are looking to go for the quick KO here at 25 minutes. They're going to take the tier 2 top. That is the last outer tower. And I imagine they will at least threaten the base. FNG, spotted D-warding. That was on the menu. And how dare you? They glimpse him back, but Jarex might just finish him with an auto attack. Sunstrike comes through, which gets split between two other heroes, the Beastmaster and the Disruptor. But already Liquid have secured another kill. And with the Dazzle down, no buyback, 25 seconds, they can rotate on the top lane.
Man, Liquid
maybe take an objective.
Liquid looks so good in this game, the way they executed everything. Holy shit.
They have...
And it's one of the stronger opponents here.
And I think VP just were caught off guard by the level of aggression. Suddenly, Liquid went from cheeky side pulls on a jungle Darkseer to just running at them and trying to blow them up at like the 10-minute mark. It was a very swift change in tempo. They do glimpse back the Ursa.
Yes, Aegis.
He's okay for now with Kuroki. Healing up the bear as much as possible. Keeps the siege engine fighting shape, but they haven't done too much damage to the base.
He's at full HP now. Cold Embrace, uncharged, overcharged. Ready to go rock and roll once more.
Oh, another glimpse back. This is what they're looking for. Matumba Man, though, the target again. Not an easy one. They siphon, but Mind Control turns it with the back wall. Tries for the big setup, but where's that Invoker follow-up? Vada gonna BKB, and still waiting on some big spells to come out. Hangs onto the Deafening Blast. I think he's hoping for the combo here with the Aghanims. He's got it, but he gets roared. He's trapped out. They need to save Vada. He hasn't really thrown any spells out in this fight yet. There's the Deafening Blast. DK Phobos gets hit by the Splinter Blast, and Matumba Man is gonna be forced back. The siphon doing work, though, and with the Ghost flowing, Liquid are struggling to really counter this. They got the Lycan, but they've already lost their Aegis. Their Invoker nearly dead. Now he comes back once more. Vada kept alive again by the Embrace. Kuroki there with the tether, keeping him alive. The heals are out of this world from Liquid, but where's the damage to follow it up? Down they get the Beastmaster 2. Second kill, make it 3, and now Liquid, as the Death Prophet old ends, are just going to have to run the hell away. Lil Hardy looks like he'll be next. Jarex even going for that 5th kill, perhaps, as the Disruptor will fall. The Sunstrike off the mark. They massacre Virtus.Pro where they stand, and now nothing stands between Liquid and their first lane of Rax.
Give those two supports a matter, dude, like the Wisp and the Cold Embrace from Byron. Holy shit.
Yeah, they're actually unkillable at this point.
Yep, Ghost Scepter, not gonna save you now, Ghost Lady.
It was a good idea. Even the Yule Scepter used. All the Scepters in the world won't save G. Backed right back into the Bear's bloody claws. Brings him down again. Silent will be next. Lycan also falling at 28 minutes. Even the Courier for the Dire side wants to get in on the action, and that will be, well, a bit of mercy for VP.
Is that the gem on the Courier?
I think so. I mean, it was a mercy donation from Liquid. They're feeling sorry at this point for VP.
A performance from Liquid this game.
And this was... what's crazy is how badly they got destroyed by Wayne's last game.
And you know,
it just feels like a totally different team.
You know what's even more fantastic? They gave away Death Prophet to VP.
And they beat it. But again, I think the Death Prophet was doing really well. It was just the rotation from Kuroki early on that won that mid lane.
That key rotation, bottom and towards middle.
I mean, it does feel like Liquid took some small page out of the Wayne's book. Probably not intentionally or anything, but the Darkseer early roaming on the top lane, the Io doing some weird pulls on the side of the map, just very unexpected laning setups that caught VP off guard. And did make a difference here. G Is he going to get caught out? Fought as the BKB. There's the combo. Fire rains down from the sky, but they didn't quite catch everyone at the right angle. Still, though, a lot of damage. Bringing the Dazzle low, forcing him back. G running into the middle of the fray, and the ghosts are coming. So KuroKy wants to run, but they have caught out the Wyvern. Matumbaman also dropping pretty quickly in this. Even Fada gets brought down. Liquid may have overstayed their welcome a bit here. Mind Control now scatters to the south. To the north, the bear runs away. It's time for him to hibernate and wait for the team to rejoin him. KuroKy. Oh, don't
KuroKy,
play with
where
the
are you
ghosts,
going?
KuroKy.
Where are you going?
Don't play with the ghosts. Oh, big mistake.
But they still got...
That's a 5,000 gold
They
swing.
still had
And that's not counting the Wisp death, I believe.
What? They...
It looks like it's not counting the IO.
5,000 gold? Holy shit.
Make that 6,000 gold.
Alright.
Dire's middle tower.
But they did get the second melee.
But they're gonna lose a lot here.
Dire's
Another
middle
tower.
So yeah, good job cursing them, by the way, Winter.
Are fortified.
Liquid have played so well right now. This is so impressive. Immediately 6,000 gold swing.
They pick Winter Wyverns.
But it's still only tickling their lead. 20,000 plus, 25,000 plus, in fact.
Blame it on me. Whatever, dude. I'm blaming it on you.
Take some responsibility. It's winter now. This is your home
Alright.
turf. So, how do VP come back? That is the question.
It's all on the exorcism. Like, they have to be able to win a team fight with the Death Prophet ultimate. And keep her alive in team fights, which is getting increasingly difficult right now.
It's closing in on that Octarine.
Because the Lycan doesn't feel like he's gonna be able to do too much. Like, the Cold Embrace and the Wisp just doing so much, and he can't really fight against the Ursa, because the Ursa is just too much ahead right now. He actually gone for a BKB. I don't know, man. I think the Aghanims is like a BKB to Ursa.
I think it's better
Yeah, it's
by
better.
far,
It's
especially this game, because you're going to get, like, the way he dies is he gets roared and right-clicked / hit by the ghosts, right? So
Yeah, I think it's actually better than the BKB. Like, BKB is like... I don't know. I think Aghanims is...
What are the exact numbers on the BKB? Like, how long does it last? Or, sorry, the Aghanim... Not the BKB. The Aghanims for Ursa?
the cooldown becomes, what, 18 seconds?
Yeah, and it lasts the same amount of time? Yeah, it's still
I
4
think
seconds.
it's just the cooldown, and then you are able to use it when you're stunned or disabled.
That's huge again. Like, that means you can fight multiple times into the Death
That's
Prophet.
why I think it's better.
I definitely think in this game it is. Maybe there's a game where the Magic community does more for you. But given VP's draft, they still roar anyway.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, if he's gonna roar you first, then you have to Aghanim. So
Yeah,
it's like the BKB is not gonna help you if you get roared first.
exactly.
I don't know. He plays a lot of Ursa, so
Well, we can't argue with the results for now.
yeah, he knows better.
But we reserve the right to quietly say Winter was right
Quietly,
if things get bad.
you're a caster. How are you supposed to be quiet? Is there such thing?
I
as
listened to enough of your shit, and then I'm left
Okay.
speechless.
speechless caster?
Oh,
New caster.
blink in, mind control, jumping forward. There's the tornado. Sunstrike, kaboom! They get the FNG kill. And now they glimpse back KuroKy, and Ursa comes in, but there's the roar. The Deafening Blast is going to fly out, and the Spirit Siphon is going this whole time. Matumbaman needs to lock onto a target here. The curse has been committed, and Silent is just exploding.
The ghost was attacking
The
him.
ghosts were damaging him. It was something we were wondering before this game. But Matumbaman decides that he wants gold. He's going to kill up the Necrobook. Really hurts him a lot. But he does get that additional money. Necrobooks everywhere. We're looking for more kills on the side of Liquid. Rushing forward onto the Death Prophet. They'll grab her too. That's 3 down. DK Phobos with the Cold Snap may well be next. Another Embrace. Jarek says, I will take care of this one, my friend. Then the relocate forward. Going deeper. Sunstrike again, almost on the mark. The only reason it's not is because Phobos took the path that ensured his demise to other heroes. Matumbaman now in deep. The double buyback forced out. But they don't have an Exorcism. This is going to be an almost impossible task for VP to hold on as Liquid continue to press forward onto the tier 3 in the bottom lane. Jirax up in front, flapping forward on the Wyvern. Articuno goes to work, and Ursa goes to town. G's down for the count. Fada, behold the meatball, he says, as he rolls right over FNG. As quick as he respawns, he's back to the grave, and GG. VP gets smacked down on home turf by Team Liquid, and Phobos will die, pierced by the wall, and even more kills before this one ends, perhaps. No, saved by the bell. But little mercy was shown before then.
Man, this is like such a performance from Liquid. Well played, man. The whole team played so well.
It feels like they got mad. You know, like they just got angry and they're like, let's go beat some ass now, man. We feel crappy about that Wayne's loss. We got to show the world how good we are. This was a very feisty Liquid
They had
team.
a draft that needed to win the lanes, and Kuroki did it. He won the lanes with his rotations, and after that, it was all about the Roshan control. They went to the first Rosh fight. All right, VP knew they were doing Rosh. They came with the Death Prophet, but they won the fight. Ursa tanked a lot of damage. Death Prophet ultimate down. He revived. He got the Roshan after, and they just took control of the game. Like those are all the small moves that actually gave them such a big lead over the early game.
For VP, where do you think it went wrong? Just got outplayed?
Yeah, I think they got outplayed really badly.
We looked at the draft.
Some games, like you look at like, oh, the draft is fine. You just lost the game because the enemy played exceptionally. Like you can't say every game the Wiz would make those kind of moves, and
they were really like close.
Yeah, so close to saving the team.
It was one of those things where like Krogi could have done the same thing. Maybe it just doesn't work.
Different result. Yeah. Same move, different result. So
the one thing I don't think they expected the Wisp pulling in the Darkseer jungle. It didn't seem like they're prepared for that. They did scout it with the Wolves, but it was a bit late. That was the only thing that was like, maybe they could have been better prepared, but Liquid haven't been doing that very often. So
you just don't expect it because it's not something you do every game. So
well, BO1s are the time to bust out those crazy tactics, right? When you really just need a win. So I'm not sure exactly what this does for our standings, but it's definitely good news for Liquid, guys. You're watching Starlighter Season 13. We've got one more game here over on the mainstream and then possibly tiebreakers. But for now, it's LD and Winter. Take a break. We'll be back soon for more Dota.